Hi, I'm Lee, welcome back to the channel. Fix It for Reselling. Episode 2 I think this is, in fixing those 10 broken consoles. This one's a beep on and beep straight off. So let's get straight into this and see if we can fix this one. Stay tuned. So here we have another one of the consoles that we picked up from Jack Dobbins, part of the 10 broken consoles. You can see already that this has been taken apart because this hasn't been put back properly and is hanging out. But let's plug this one in. So we've got an orange light on our power brick at the moment. We'll plug that in. It did actually turn white for a moment. Let's unplug that again. Alright, so if you can see that's orange, plug it in, goes white, goes back to orange. Now that is kind of already telling you there's a failure in the power supply. If we try and turn this one on, it's on and straight off. Now I think when you have them straight on, straight off, it should be fixable. I think it is to do with the power MOSFETs or the power regulators that are sort of under the fan. So let's quickly get this one apart and see if we can get this one fixed. I shall fast forward this to save you the boredom again, because there's millions of videos of taking these apart. Me, big old dust bunnies. These are good clean out. Right, first area we look in, these MOSFETs down the side. Just get some of that dust off of there so it's easier for you to see. So as you can see, there's 4 power phases, all look the same. These are where your 12 volts come in. So we're just going to check each and every one of these. Zoom you into that first one. Right, we've got our meter in diode mode. So we get our red probe on a ground, and I'll show you where we put the black one. So our red probe, we're just touching one of the shields on the rear ports, like the HDMI port or something. Then you want to touch this first one, which is your gate, and that's reading 0.6. Then let me move the board instead of the camera. Then you go down to the next one. I think you can also test from like that diode or that resistor to that leg. That one's reading 0.6 diode mode. Down to the next one. Oops. That one is reading 0.6. Is it going to be these? Down to the last one. And that one is reading 0.6. Whoa. So it's not them. And the importance of first looking around the board. Did anybody notice that? There seems to be a massive hole in the board. Okay, so here's another board. Is this the same board? Oh, it's weird. Here's another board that looks pretty much the same. And yeah, should have all these components and everything on there. But that has gone through the board to another layer. That is like the ground plane underneath there. Because these boards are made up of multiple layers. It's not just, you know, top and bottom. There's loads of layers in between, and all these are linked. I'm going to say this is probably going to be no good. So let's check up here to our inductors. 0.4. .4, so I don't think the 12 volt rail is shorting. 0.019 to the graphics core, GFX core. What is this board? It's 0.015. It's that core. But yeah, we're going to have traces missing. I think it's beyond repair. I'm going to have a quick look under the microscope at where these resistors and stuff go, and try and look at that under the microscope. But yeah, I think this one's a no-go. It's annoying. Alright, one moment while I look under the microscope. Alright, so there you go. I mean, that's that's the hole in the board. If we look at the good one, if I just pull in the good board here, the same area, you can see all these resistors that are on it. 4 resistors. You've got all these little wires which go through to other layers on the board, and they are going to be destroyed on this one. You can see one of them up there, one of them down there, but then there was another sort of 2 around here, and that's, yeah, I don't know what's happened here, whether that's had a big failure and burnt out and someone scratched its back, God knows. But yeah, this one's a that's an O-fix. That is an O-fix. I think this chip is your power management. It's obviously going off through these, and it's going to manage your power, which you can't do when it's been destroyed. If I could get rid of the glare off the lights, I'll try and turn the lights down a bit. This is all like the copper layer in there. Probably can't get the lighting good enough to kind of show you. Is that one of the vias there? Or vias, however you want to say it. I think we can just about see there our 2 other vias. That one is showing shorted to ground though. That one's not. But that one is. Presume that's not meant to be a ground. So I think this is where those vias come through on the other side of the board. So there's no shorts there, but on this via, yeah, short. Which goes through to here, which I'm not sure what this component is. Let's have a look on another board. Right, on another board, the same area. Right. This is a spare board, so this, no guarantee this is right. That is showing to ground. Okay. But no, it shouldn't be. There can't be the right holes in. Oh no, hold up. That is ground on there. Okay. That is ground. I thought that was connecting to the resistor, but it's not. I'm zoomed right in. Alright, alright. And this has just got a bit more interesting Where's my hole? There. Right, so we could fill this in. We can fill this in with conformal coating, because that is a ground via, so it doesn't matter. And we could connect all these resistors up together. You know, put the resistors in there. We can connect them all up together with a wire to that via in there. That's fine. Can't see it again now. Where is it? That one, isn't it? That could go boom as soon as I put power into here. That's where a pad used to be for the other resistor. Alright. Right, so firstly we're going to take some conformal coating. This is like a UV mask, which is set with ultraviolet light. Oh, let me record on the microscope again. Give myself a bit of room. Oh, it's going to be hard to see that via, but it's that one at the top. Alright, so I'm basically just going to get some of this solder mask, which comes out as a massive blob, which is annoying. Put that way too close. Let's mop a bit of that up. It does, you know, a tiny little piece on the end of your tweezers, and it's everywhere. So I'm just going to dab some of this in here. That's my via I need to connect to in there. So I'll just nudge that over. Oh, brilliant job. Well done. Just covered that via over. Try and uncover it in a minute. I just want to check that this isn't shortened to ground. No. None of these other pads are going to ground. Okay. Whew. So we can see our via appears there. So we know where it is, we can see it at least. Can always scratch a bit of this back if we need to after. I'm just going to set that with my UV torch. It's not a brilliant one, it's not very bright, but it will set this. So I'm just going to take it away from under the microscope and just put it over. Let me just move this other. I was just trying to move some of the other stuff that I had up the top, but it's setting already. That bit there, that blob there has already gone hard. just not a very strong UV torch. Just going to leave it. Just going to leave it for a couple of minutes, sit on top of it. Right, is that dry now? Yep, that looks dry now. Yep, that's pretty hard. Alright, just going to try and prep this area a little bit. We'll re-tin these pads and clean them up. A bit of solder on the tip of there. Well, obviously we've got a pad missing there. That we are going to have to run a jumper to. Let's have a look at this other board again. Let me zoom out. Right, so this is like the area we are missing. We've got this pad, that pad is missing, so we need to get that pad and that pad to that via. Join these two together. I mean, we could, to try and avoid this area totally, we could run a wire around the back where we know it's going to. But yeah, so we'll probably take these resistors off here, but I mean, we could measure them. So that is measuring 20 ohms. There's a 1 kilo ohm. That is a 10 kilo ohm. And that is a 43 kilo ohm. I'm not going to be able to show you both of these boards at the same time, I don't think. I mean, this is going to be interesting to see what happens. Right, so let's get some flux on these ones we want to take off. Right, let's just get my hot air at about 420. And let the fun commence. I'll fast forward this bit. I'm just going to be taking them off here, put them on the other board. Just going to do them one at a time. I'm bound to flick one off and lose it. But we know what the values are at least. Well, the values reading on the board. Looks like it's getting loose now. So I've got decent grip on that. I hope. Do not want to flick this across the room. Try and focus the camera at the same time. Well, that was pretty successful for that bit. So, if we take a look at this board, we've got this resistor on the other board now that's not stuck to anything, it's just this side. So that's going to the wire, which is also going to this side of the resistor. So we've got the resistor that goes up there, it's Basically these two need connecting, and to that via. So this is it here. So that's the one that goes up to that via, and that should go at the via. So these two need to connect in and into that. Whew! Right, this thing is so small, I'm not sure if I'm even going to get it, if I'm going to get through to it. I think I popped a hole in the wrong place. And this thing is minute. Not even sure how you would connect something to that. This is like a pinhead. This would pierce your skin. This is how small this is. And this is the point of a craft knife. Just going to stick it in there and just try and... Should have been more careful with me conformal coating. Right, for the fun of it, I'm going to try and run a wire from here round the back. Yes, that is the tip of my finger. And in true fashion, I forgot to press the record button on one of the cameras. So here, I've already connected this enamel wire up to the back part where it needs to go. And there's me fumbling around, just trying to connect the other side up to these two resistors. So it connects to these two, and the wire's literally going around the back. I think I do show you in a minute. But it goes round the back to the other wire. So that's them connected. And hopefully this should be good to go. Nothing moves. And let's give it a quick clean up with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. Try and get rid of some of that flux and see if everything looks good. And get all the cotton buds stuck to everything. Beautiful. And now I'm just going to run some more conformal coating over the enamel wire. A bit of double protection. And this will sort of glue the wire to the board as well. So you've got the enamel and then you've got the conformal coating or the solder mask over it. So it's kind of like double insulated, and it sticks it nicely to the board, stops it from moving around. Then after that, we just double check all of our work, make sure we haven't got any shorts and everything's connecting to where it should be. And it all looks good except that little wire that's not connected to the resistor. So we'll just touch that up with a bit more solder. Right, that will do it. I think nothing's shorting to ground. Obviously, can't really sell it like this. Big hole in the board and repairs. Well, that's if it even turns on. Let's turn this on. Give ourselves a little treat or a shock. Yeah, right. And we'll connect the fan up quickly. Just put the bracket on the back. Otherwise it's just going to overheat instantly if it does turn on. But leave your bets down in the comment below. No metal down there for it to short on. Right, so let's get our power in it first. Right, we're looking at this area, see if this area smokes at all. Show you kind of like what a tiny area it was there. So keep your eye on that bit. See if we let out any smoke at all. Front panel, so at least we can maybe try and turn it on. If Our light goes the right colour here. Right, keep your eye on the smoke. Plug that in. White light. Oh, we had a fan twitch then. And we still have a solid white light. Okay. What's going to happen now? Wait for the smoke. Is that going to turn on us all? No. Oh, we ain't got a beeper, have we? We've got a white light. I've got fan spin. Watch there for smoke. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to go wrong there. Should we plug an HDMI lead in there? I don't know if it's going to show anything at all on the TV, because obviously we've got no hard disk or anything plugged in. But it's staying on. We have no display on the TV. There's my beeper. And it's just shut down. Or did I touch the front? Shut down on its own. But is that because it can't detect a hard disk? Could have overheated. It's not really got any thermal paste on. Right. Put that hard disk back in there. Turn it on. Gave me the eject beep. Oh, no, it's beep on, beep off now. Could that be a bad hard disk? Hello. We have a picture. And who's better than me? We're in. Took a while to boot up, but hey, miracles do happen. So there we go, we are working. Obviously, there's no way I could set up this. I'll probably put some more, conformal coating on there. Some of the solder mask, just round that wire, just to double insulate it, double protect it, because it is touching the ground on the other side. But yeah, I gotta do that. And we'll put it all back together. Let's give this a clean up and put it back together. Sort that wire out. Right, so we've all cleaned, we're all dedusted. Let's show you what we've done here, if you can see it. Right, so there we go. That's all that area connected up. So we've got our solder mask on there to hide it. Probably wipe a bit more of that flux away actually. Need to clean some of that flux. And that's where it goes to on the back. Just put our solder mask on there and make sure that wire is stuck to the board and not going to move. Let's get this back together and see what we get. Quick clean of this flux around this area. As they say, a bit of MX4, the perfect amount of thermal paste. Right, let's get you on a time lapse. Let's go. Right, so we are back together. Let's check out, see if the disk drive and everything else works and the Wi-Fi. Plug that in there. HDMI. Plug that in there. Oh, plug the power supply in. Still got our solid white light. It's not going back to orange, which is always a nice sign. And go, white light. TV. Fan spin. Fan spin. And we are on. See if it reads this disc. Where did I put the other camera? Fan's a little squeaky. Controller plugs in. Just going to skip the sign in. Oh, I didn't put the bloody Wi-Fi in. Hang on, let me shut this down. I might replace the fan. It does sound like it's a bit rubbing a bit. That might wear itself in again. Right, so like I say, we got the controller synced up. That's all going fine. Let's put disc in. She pops. Will it come up on there? Anywhere. Oh, there she's done it, and we. So we are reading the discs and installing. Yeah, that seems to be reading okay, pretty quick. Everything's a bit slow on here, probably needs an update. I will just check the settings and see if it wants to do an update. I'll skip this bit, don't want you seeing my details. Right, so I'm going to let it do the update. Now I've got it on the internet. Right, let's load up a bit of gameplay. Right, that'll do. Rubber shit wrestling. Right, so there we go. That one is working. Although, is it sellable? Who knows? Who knows whether that's sellable? I wouldn't be really comfortable in selling it. Although that, you know, it's a repair, it's a good fix. But with that trace bar running around the back, there is a chance of it. There's a small chance of it shorting out onto the ground rail, even though it's enamel wire and we've double insulated it with our conformal coating, our solder mask. There we go, that's it, that one's fixed. That was interesting. I enjoyed that one. God knows how that hole got in that board. Usually if it's shorted out, it will sometimes blow a hole in the board, but it will be burnt and it will be obvious. So yeah, don't know how that hole appeared there, but we've replaced some traces, we've replaced the components, we've run that jumper wire. Whether it's a sellable console is debatable. Let me know in the comments whether you think that's a good enough fix, whether you would sell it. I mean, it's not going to do anything, it's not going to catch fire, it's working, it's connected as it should be. It's not really a bodge job because we've replaced the traces or where the traces should be going to. So yeah, leave a comment below, and hopefully you enjoyed this one as much as I did. If you like this one, leave me a comment down below, let me know whether you'd sell it or not. Hit the subscribe button, that one up there. And the notification bell so you see when I upload new videos, and yeah, hopefully I shall see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.